There's a nice crop right there in front of me. Let's see, that's 314 North Highland. This is tree damage. Hey, big old tree right here. Fix it. Fix it. That hose. It's gonna get caught on somebody's car. Cause it's raised up right there at the curb. What the hell is it doing here in the first place? Goes over here at fire hydrant. Somebody's car is gonna snag that thing.
Committed to preventing another wave of the opioid epidemic.
Kratom products come in drinks, capsules, gummies, and other forms, and they are legal
Kratom.
in most
Oh my
U.S.
God.
states.
Our agency's been asleep at the wheel for all of these other crises, and now we're going to wake up and we're going to stop this before it starts.
Kratom is a plant found in Southeast Asia. FDA Commissioner Marty Makary says the items commonly sold in the U.S. contain 7-OH, which he says is a synthetic concentrated byproduct of kratom.
Our focus is not on kratom. Our focus is on 7-OH, which, according to the Journal of Medical Chemistry, is 13 times more potent than morphine.
The FDA announced that they made a
Jesus Christ.
recommendation to the DEA to classify 7-OH. Marty Makary also said they sent a letter to every U.S. physician, published a report, sent letters to distributors, and they also plan on continuing to educate the public.
I've talked to many doctors who don't know what 7-OH is. We also want to create a national conversation where parents talk to their children.
With the opioid crisis or the drug epidemic we've had throughout the country, it's affected almost all of us, either directly or indirectly.
When we have that availability, it turns into a national crisis. We're still losing 80,000 kids a year. 3 years ago, we lost 106,000 kids to addiction.
Melody Wolf is a 20-year chronic pain patient that has found relief from the kratom plant. However, she says she would never take the synthetic 7-OH products that are commonly found at stores. She recalls once what a store clerk told her about 7-OH.
I said, "Where are your kratom products?" He said, "Oh, here they are." He handed me a 7-OH product. And I said, "That's not kratom." And he was very confused. And then when I told him that I do not take 7-OH, I never would, he said, "Well, I'm very glad to hear that, because many of my customers tell them that it takes them back to their heroin days."
DEA Assistant Administrator Tom Provosnik says the DEA is reviewing the recommendation.
DEA is the agency charged with making the final scheduling decisions under the Controlled Substances Act. But we don't act alone. We rely on HHS and the FDA to conduct rigorous, science-based evaluations.
Provosnik says that the public has the opportunity to submit comments before the final scheduling decision is made. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Jason Blair, NTD News.
I'm down here in Emmett Park where there's apartments all around me. But yet, somewhere, a triple homicide was done. 3 young ladies were seduced, possibly molested, robbed, and then shot. It's a shame there's no cameras down here. At least none I know of. Nice little fountain.
Jobs, and a brother that's in sport and a younger brother makes her more vulnerable. So we learned firsthand. Our entry into human trafficking was through the horrific testimony of my sister. And that night, when the rescue happened on the border of South Africa and another country, I heard God's voice. I'm walking across the street to part of this rescue, and I hear God say, "Not another one." And that's still our mission every morning. one child at a time, not another one. We will never stop. We do not lose momentum or steam. As a matter of fact, we are more gung-ho than ever before.
And gung-ho with what exactly?
Gung-ho to see the afflicted liberated, but not just see survivors restored, but to combat this thing before it happens. By the time a child gets trafficked, society has failed that child. We need to do a lot better at recognizing the vulnerabilities in children and shoring up those vulnerabilities before the predator exploits them, because that's all the predator's doing. Jan, I don't know if you know this, but the average predator in America invests 9 months in a victim before they strike. Ask the potential victim to self-expose or physically meet in person. 9 months. The average predator at any given time profiles and engages with 32 potential victims at the same time. One predator, 32 potential victims at the same time. At any given moment in America, there's 750,000 active predators online right now as we speak, times 32. You're talking about millions of American children being profiled as we speak in everyday life. And they don't know what the wolf looks like. They don't know how the wolf talks. Where would he show up? They're told that it looks like kidnapping, or you would self-evidently see it when it happens. They don't know the wolf is in their DMs. He's the one sending them emojis. He's a coach, a pastor perhaps, an elected official, a maintenance man. The average buyer of sex with children in America is a father of 2, married, earning north of $100,000 a year.
A final thought as we finish?
This is a unique moment where we can turn this evil of human trafficking on a dime, when we can finally see justice come to the most afflicted, the most vulnerable of our society. It's an opportunity for the public to partner with elected officials and hold elected officials accountable to say, here's a real solution. We're demanding that justice prevails. And I believe success begets success.
Well, Jaco Booyens, it's such a pleasure to have had you on.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you all for joining Jaco Booyens and me on this episode of American Thought Leaders. I'm your host, Jan Jekielek.
I got information, word of mouth, from another veteran who's living on the streets, by the way. And when you're on the street, you're hypersensitive. And if it's been gunfire going off, yeah, they would definitely be sensitive to that. And I believe their info better than I do mainstream media. Oh, they lie about stuff all the time. Turtles. And another one over here someplace. Ah, there it is. Oh, looks like a dumping ground here. That looks like a shop vac, maybe. I don't know. Nah, there's a brick mason scalpel out there. Jeez. It doesn't know where it's going. It sensed that it had steps, I guess. that ain't a very good driver. Doesn't know which way it wants to go. This way, that way. I think they are texting each other. Every one of them's got a phone in their hand. It's lack of human communications. So much for going outside. No way.